The signboards of a Jewish restaurant smashed. A pig head marked with a Star of David dumped by a door. Swastikas and Stars of David daubed on a wall. This was the aftermath of an anti-Semitic attack in the eastern German city of Chemnitz in August 2018. It was just one of more than 1,600 anti-Semitic crimes committed in Germany last year. That's an increase of 10% on 2017. Particularly worrying, the number of violent incidents, like this one in Berlin, has increased by 2/3.
I am concerned, but not really surprised. It fits with what I hear from Jewish organizations and representatives when I talk to them. It should give us the impetus to take preventative action soon and to make sure that anti-Semitism does not arise in the first place.
Much of this hatred comes from far-right supporters, but experts say some of it derives from opposition to Israel, including from migrants from the Muslim world. And Germany is not alone. Anti-Semitic incidents are becoming more common in other countries too. France this week reported a rise of more than 70% in 2018 compared with the previous year.
Unfortunately, anti-Semitism is on the advance everywhere in Europe. We need to find European solutions. I support the idea of making the fight against anti-Semitism a priority for the German EU presidency next year.
Another part of the picture in Germany is that the Jewish community is growing, and demonstrations of solidarity with them by non-Jews are common. While most Germans recognise that from the Holocaust comes a special responsibility to protect Jews, there is sadly still a minority ready to turn violent aggression against them.
Well, joining us in the studio for more on all of these developments is Anastasia Platuchina. She chairs a Jewish student organization here in Berlin, and she also works for other Jewish institutions in Germany. Anastasia, thanks so much for being with us. So, we just saw in this report some pretty disturbing statistics, anti-Semitic offenses on the rise in Germany. How does that make you feel? Are you afraid?
Actually, afraid is not the right term for me personally. I think that we already faced anti-Semitic thoughts and also deeds in Germany before, but now we can target them and now we can focus on what's happening. And that makes me feel strong, actually, that now we have tools to address this problem.
So what about your personal experience? Have you encountered any kind of discrimination or even attack personally?
Yes, for sure. That was mostly connected to anti-Israel politics. And that was pretty scary, especially on the streets when the demonstrations in 2014 started. And that was a very scary moment for me because I used to work in a Jewish community and I was literally afraid to step out of the building because I didn't know what will happen to me outside. So yes, for sure.
And can you tell us a little bit more in detail what happened? What were people saying or how were they behaving?
They were screaming that Jews have to be gassed in the chambers, and that's the rhetoric we are not used to, or we connect definitely to Holocaust rhetoric, and that's definitely very scary.
And could you identify who were those people shouting those slogans?
Those slogans were connected to a demonstration, connected to anti-Israel demonstration, connected again to the Gaza war. So actually it wasn't something about Jews in Germany, but the switch was very fast.
All right. Well, I also want to ask you about your work within the Jewish community. I know you're active in a number of different institutions and organizations. How important is it for you to be visible in your work?
After 2014, it became more important to me, especially because I saw that this, as I said, switch from anti-Israel to anti-Semitic is very fast, and actually it implies that the same. And I think that that was the moment when I personally understood that it's important to invest more in the education and fight this.
Well, speaking of education, I really want to ask you quickly, if you can, to explain to us the work you do with an initiative called Rent a Jew. It sounds very strange. What is it about?
It sounds very provocative, and that's exactly the goal. It's an educational program to give an opportunity to educational institutions like schools to meet real Jews, because most of the main population in Germany just heard about Jewish society in Germany, but never spoke to any person from this community. And that brings people together and develops a dialogue.
All right, Anastasia Platuchina, thank you so very much for being with us today.
Thank you.